Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another live stream. It has been a very busy couple of weeks. Sorry we missed it last week, but I had computer troubles. I had a new computer and it actually broke down within the first week. So I had to get a new one, well, another one replaced. So I hope everyone's had a great week and been out shooting in the weekend, I hope. And and everyone is all in well. So before we start, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and please give it a comment when the video is finished. And it helps with all this algorithm crap that YouTube has changed on us yet again. So I shall bring Jason in. Good evening, Jason.
What's going on, everybody? Good to be back for another live stream. We were going to be here last week, but Aaron, again, stuffed up his computer, useless as tits on a ball. But anyway, he's back again. Luckily, it got replaced straight away. Otherwise, we could have been out for like 3 to 4 weeks because they would have fixed it. But anyway, we're here. Welcome.
Yeah. And talking about computers, yours the one that is freezing still real badly.
There's nothing on. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, I'll switch the settings over to the other one. Keep talking. Yeah,
so guys, Get your questions down below. We're going to try and start answering a few more questions because we get about 1,000 odd questions per show. So we are going to try and actually spend the majority of these shows talking about your questions and things you want to know about guns and what has been happening as well. So feel free to put your comment down. We can bring it up and read it as well, which will be really good.
Yeah, Steve from Southern Star Review, he's been getting me, and I blame Steve for this. He's been getting me into the chainsaws. I got to write off some tax this year, so I bought a chainsaw, and it's all because of Steve from Southern Star Review. It's all his fault. So I've become a chainsaw whore basically. So welcome, Steve. Check out Southern Star Review. He's a good bloke. We have lots of chats, so good fella. So check out his channel, and he actually just did a review of a speed test of the Steel 500i versus the 400. So yeah, very interesting. Unfortunately, I bought the 462, which is 72 cc's. William said, "What saw?" It's their Steel MS 462. I was thinking about the 500i, but I'm not sure about, I'm old school. Aaron keeps on wanting to push me towards battery lawn care stuff. And I'm like, no, I love my 2-strokes. I love my carbies. I'll wait until they get, sort any issues out they have with the fuel injected chainsaw. Because the 500i is, I think it's fairly new technology. I think they've got it down to a T, but I'll wait a couple more years before I decide to invest in one. So yeah, but yeah, Matt Cato said, what caliber? It's the Steel MS462. I've already got an MS261, which is the Pro Saw as well. That's for my hunting and camping with a 16-inch bar. That thing just rips, man. Absolutely rips through wood. So with the 72cc, because the 261 is 50cc, I bet you it's going to rip, 20 cc's harder, I guess, or 22, 23 cc's harder. So anyway, once you start getting into lawn care equipment and on your properties and stuff, it just gets out of control.
Yeah, I rolled my lawnmower today. It landed on my leg, so I'm hobbling around a bit. I hate lawn care. It's an absolute waste of time. Can't stand it. And
you should see the photos, guys, of this. Hang on, I'll see if I've got it here.
I've got it just here.
Did you? I'll see if he did send it to me, guys. It is pretty funny. Look, I'll see if I can turn it, change the direction.
No, I don't.
I don't think I can. Well, there you go. Just doesn't want to show up properly. But there's the chainsaw. There's his thing there, guys. Buckled over.
There's another one. But it was upside down, and I had to try and push it off my leg.
You're an idiot. And obviously it had no security features, so when it rolls over, the blades just keep spinning. Luckily, it didn't land on you or roll over. So
so that's my extent and why I absolutely hate lawn care. Every time I take the lawnmower out and do something, it bloody something goes wrong. Something breaks, get bogged, something. I'm just glad we're going into a drought and all the grass is dying and we're getting lawn grubs, so there'll be no lawn for it.
Hey guys, that's what I don't understand. He lives on like a small, what would you call it? Lifestyle block, 2 acres, and he hates having to work on it. I'm like, why not just buy a unit? Just buy a unit. Don't disgrace yourself by not looking after your property. Come on.
Oh, that's why I built a shed and it took up half an acre.
Oh, half an acre.
Yeah,
I
with all the
doubt it,
driveway.
but
1,000 square meters of parking I put in, of gravel.
Hey, that's the thing. That's what I always said. It's all we ever want. Some lawn care equipment, some chainsaws, a log fire for the wintertime, and a couple of acres. Man, I'd be happy with that. Obviously, I'd like more acreage than that, but, everything's expensive these days in Australia, but, anyway, this chainsaw business certainly gets addictive. That's for sure.
Yeah, and want to thank Lockie McFarlane for a super chat. Thank you so much for that. It's the first super chat I've had for a long time. So thank you very much, Lockie. He's a great supporter of the show, and he always donates. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Lockie. Really appreciate it.
Hey, I've got a question. Who here heats their house with wood? Who goes out, gets their chainsaw, goes, cuts wood, and heats their house with wood in the wintertime? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to find that out, because I joined one of these Facebook page, Aussie Woodcutters or something, and it's actually a pretty resourceful forum, actually. There's a few idiots on there like any Facebook page, but it's pretty good, what you need, helping a lot of people out with, chainsaw choices and so forth. So definitely gets addictive.
Yeah, well, see, I hate people who burn good iron bark and wood. That could be nice furniture that someone could build. It's an absolute waste.
The only good wood is wood that keeps you warm. Learn it now.
Just put some more clothes in. We live in Australia. It doesn't get cold here. You might need trackie decks for 2 weeks. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, down south, I mean, I guess Brisbane and all that. But if you get out like, even Queensland, I guess, outback Queensland sort of thing, away from the coast, I mean, you got really hot summers and pretty cold winters. So especially out New South Wales, southern New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia. Yeah, it can get pretty cold. Even some of those outback places in winter, scorching hot in summer, freezing cold in wintertime. So Southern Star Review, Steve says he heats his backyard. Foxy86, bring up some of these comments, Aaron. He goes, Foxy86, love burning wood, not a fan of the AC heat. Yeah, well, why not? Neil H said, live in Victoria and it snows. Yeah. Matt Cato said, timber is for building wood. Building wood is for burning. Well, the same thing, or I mean, I don't know.
Oh, timber's nice stuff, and wood is just the offcuts. Like I had a fire the other night because we had a power cut here for about 6 hours till late at night. So no lights, no nothing, and I got almost scrap wood out of the workshop, and stuck it on the bonfire and sat out there and had a few beers until the power came on. Yeah, about 5 hours later.
Yeah,
I got
Colin Penfold says it's freezing down here, so I think he's talking about that down a bit south of Sydney, that Goulburn region. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I went hunting in the April long weekend, and probably the last 2 or 3 years gone past, mate, it was hot during the day. You'd have to, basically couldn't really hunt throughout the day. You just basically be hunting 2, 3, 4 hours in the morning, 2, 3 hours in the afternoon before sundown. But this time, man, it was cold. I was shocked how cold it was. And I was like, man, I probably actually should have bought the bloody diesel heater with me. And that's another thing. If you've got a secondary battery system, get a diesel heater for those super cold winter nights. There's nothing better than being in your tent, getting changed, and you've got a nice warm tent. Oh, mate, it is brilliant. Love it. But anyway.
Well, everyone's getting. Hey, has anyone got one in the comments? Let us know. One of those solar-powered battery generators, because everyone seems to be using them now, and I haven't heard a bad thing about them. I know I've talked to a few people who've had them, and they think it's fantastic. It lasts for a long time, and then they just put the solar panel up during the day, and it recharges the generator. And it's the best thing camping. You won't ever waste your time again on diesel generators or petrol generators.
Yeah, true. Hey, Aaron, Tank Meister says you could build the furniture and then burn it. Even better, Outback gets below zero. N Salty says you're not a man if you don't have a chainsaw or 20. Yeah, hey, it seems everyone loves chainsaws. I don't know why. I've become a chainsaw whore. I'm not sure why. Anyway, let us know in the comments, what chainsaws do you have? Do you have for your fire, for your home heating / property cutting down? Do you have a 50cc? Are you a Husqvarna guy? Are you a Steel guy? What else is out there? Echo, or what else? The other brands, or in Aaron's case, Aaron's at DeWalt. Mate, if I hear Aaron mention DeWalt again, I'm gonna just freak out, man, and start punching walls. I think
the DeWalt battery chainsaws, the 54 volt, outdid all the still petrol powered ones of the same size. Left them for dead.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm still a 2-stroke guy. I can't help it. Very simple to maintain, easy to work on. Probably electric is too. But you don't have to mix stuff and all that sort of thing. So,
and you press the button, it works every time. No wasting time if it doesn't work or anything.
Ooh.
The only thing I stop at battery is cars. I'll never own a battery-powered car. It's absolute embarrassment when I see a man.
Well, probably in 30 years, maybe if you're still on the planet, you probably won't have a choice. And Salty said Johnson. Matt Outdoors said Makita chainsaw for around home. Oh, Pam Star's thrown a shot at Aaron. Sorry, Aaron. DeWalt is rubbish. Wow.
Each of their own. Pam probably uses one of these people who uses AEG.
I use AEG. You knew that anyway. I bought. Ben says he bought an eBay chainsaw once. It lasted 3 months and then it blew up. See, I had a 62cc, one of those eBay ones as well. It was called the Borma, which is the one they talk about on this forum a lot. The Borma AG or Borma AG, whatever it is. That lasted me about 5, 6, 7 years, probably longer. But then it stopped. It stopped oiling the bar, and the bar used to start smoking. So. Nobody's going to work on those things. I think I bought it for like $150, so I just chucked it in the bin. But you know what? It cuts some wood, man. It cuts some wood.
Oh, Foxy here says two huskies, 30-year-old, still carving through the wood. Well, I've got 2 stills, and they're absolute rubbish. I got a smaller one, and I got a big one.
Yeah, that's because you bought.
And they just never work first time. It's just.
Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
Because you bought the homeowner pleb versions. You got to buy it. You got to chainsaws. You don't muck around, man. You got to buy the pro saw. You got to buy the top of the range.
The big one's about $2,000, and the smaller one was about $800.
Mate, you're off your head. You're off your head tonight. Here we go. Sold his Skippy. He said he's got a 40-year-old still. Was his grandfather's, dad's, then mine. Still can't be killed. Yeah, mate, I agree. Sold his Skippy for the win. Well done.
Hang on. Pam uses Milwaukee, the Chinese-owned company, the communism company.
Hey, I buy lawn care stuff all the time from AliExpress, mate. It's like, even with the bad dollar rate, US dollar rate right now, you can get stuff so much cheaper. But William says, what did he say? Who don't love them? I use the 500i for my big stuff and 261, which is what I've got for the little stuff. And then Milwaukee, that's also a beast too. PMG, I love the smell of 2-stroke in the morning. Southern Star Review, the only people who don't like DeWalt can't afford it.
Yeah, exactly. Good old American muscle. No Chinese stuff there.
Tate Meister said, he's got one of those Bormas too, which is the brand. It's like, I think Edison sell Borma, I think. But yeah, I mean, hey, it was 62cc, man. I tell you, the only thing sucked about it was the air intake system and the air filter. Man, it was like a piece of mesh, and I'm like, this is not going to stop anything. This sucks, man. Like, hopefully they've changed that design the last 7 years since I bought one. But I just chucked it in the bin, and I thought, nah, going to go out, and I bought a 261. Now I bought a 462. So let the wood fall, you might, if we can say that. But I'll be out the back, like a lot of years this winter, burning some wood in my little stove and just enjoying nights out by the campfire. So it should be good. I love winter. I don't know if anyone else does. I like spring. I love spring, but I also don't mind. Well, this time of the year, I like the fall. I do, or autumn. Anyway.
Yeah, every time Jason comes up here, he cries about the heat, the humidity. Never stops crying about it.
Yeah. Never, ever move to Queensland. Overrated Hickville. All right?
And you stick to inner city slums of Sydney.
Yeah. Tank Mai said, yeah, they do clog up and are good for $200. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had mine. If the only problem is getting someone to work on them. If you take them to a Husky dealer or something, or still, they don't want anything to do with them. So... Yeah, Aaron Johnson is correct. Winter is the best. The heat's no good.
Yeah, tube set, big still for the last 30 years, and for the big stuff, and small Husky last couple of years for the small stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we'll do a shout out because a lot of people are participating. So I'm sorry if we're not reading out everybody. When I click on participants in the YouTube thing, it doesn't bring up everyone. I don't know why. So Ben Wickelsma, sorry if I've got that wrong, Ben. I do apologize. Brandon Fairley's back. Colin, Foxy86, Matt Outdoor Adventures, Matt Cato, Neil Constantinio. Neil's been here since the beginning, actually, I think. So welcome, Neil. Good to have you back again. And Soldy, Pamstar, Phil Westling, PMG, Soldy Skippy, Southern Star Review, aka Steve. Stan, long range pensioner Mance. Hopefully, you've been doing some long range shooting, Stan. Tankmeister, Tube User C1, Vegas AB. William, 38 Prowler. We've got Lockie McFarlane, Tankmeister. Sorry, guys, I've just gone back to the main chat, which we use on StreamYard to see who else is here. Vegas AB. I'm not sure if I read your name, Vegas. Who else we got? Ecstatic Pessimist. You're not coming up on the list, but on this list you are. So, welcome. Yeah, but welcome everyone. It's good to get back to regular streaming again. At least every couple of weeks we'll be here on the regular. So it's going to be getting back to normal again.
Yeah, so it should be good. We're back in action again. You just got to sort out your camera to make it stop freezing, Jason.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening. I got nothing on today. I don't know. There's nothing.
You're playing your man, but you got your man baby games going in the background. Grown man playing video games.
Nothing on. No. Nothing on. So sorry about this, guys. I do apologize for it. Is it still doing it?
Yeah, that's right. We'll get through it.
Yeah.
So we'll do a quick talk about excuse me, I had to sneeze. Excuse me, Jesus. I've been cutting up. I've been building legs for my coffee table, so I'm cutting heaps of sawdust. Got heaps of sawdust all over me, and man glitter. So so as we talked about in the last one about the gun bans coming in WA. They're also reshaking up the entire firearms and laws over there. They complain that it hasn't been touched for 50 years, which is bullshit because it has been, because they got the NFA in. And about 25 years ago. So they want it all redone, and they're going to be pretty ruthless by the sounds of it. And as of today, still haven't heard any news at all from any of these completely useless organisations, every last one of them. I haven't seen anything of them saying we're going to court and trying to stop this, put a junction in it, do whatever they got to do. None of them. All I see is them complaining about each other and in-house fighting, and especially one of them that just makes an absolute embarrassment and idiot of himself doing that as well. So
that's the thing. I don't know what.
Just get off your high horse and try and get on with everyone. No wonder no one's talking to each other, because when you're out there complaining and publicly fighting and spatting because you think it's funny, they're not going to want to work with you. So, but most of these guys, especially in the organisations, are pretty dumb. They're not the sharpest tools in the shed. So they, it's just unbelievable. That's all I've seen happening in the last week about this WA.
And then I see a bunch of posts on the internet. No one's been invited. People aren't being invited to seats at the table in Western Australia. So seems like really, and we just won't mention any names just to avoid any issues we might have. But there seems to be a bit of a monopoly in Western Australia. And I put a post up the other day saying like what's happening, and it was actually kind of sad to see it, guys. If you go on the Australian Hunting Podcast Facebook page, I posted a picture about duck hunting in Victoria, and they're already gloating that there's no one on the wetlands. I mean, probably what happened on the opening was that people knew where these people were going to be, so they just went to different wetlands and avoided the antis, which obviously makes sense. Why go somewhere when you're trying to shoot and you've got some idiots in the water? But in other countries, if you hinder at all or you're protesting, mate, you just get arrested straight away. Like, why are we letting them in the water with gun licenses? It's okay to protest, but you can protest. You can't be you cannot be within 400 meters of a hunter or 300 meters of a hunter. Simple as that.
Yeah. Or if you're not shooting, you don't come out of the car park.
Yeah. Or if you're not shooting, you definitely can't go in the water, like bare minimum. It should be, if you're not shooting and you've got an orange vest on and you don't have a gun, you should not be able to go within 100 meters of the water's edge. That's what it should be. But and it was actually kind of sad, because if you watch the TV article, whatever it is, the TV of the news article. I mean, you've even got hunters on there. There was one guy on there. I mean, he probably didn't mean anything by it, but he goes, "Oh, you know, if this is the last year of duck hunting, this will be pretty sad." I'm like, why would you even say that on TV, man? I would have just said, "Oh, no, fantastic tradition." Even if you didn't mean it, not mean it, but even if you didn't believe this was going to happen, you say, "Nah, hunting's got a rich culture in Victoria. Duck hunting's here to stay. There's tens of thousands of people that love their duck hunting and source their food, all the money that goes back into the economy." Why on earth would you say, "Oh, if it ends this year, that'd be a shame"? Like, that's just dumb, man. Like, I keep telling people, if you're not equipped to talk to TV and media, don't say a single thing, because you end up screwing it up like some of these guys did. So, well, they didn't really screw it up, but it's not the right thing to say. It's almost like you've almost resigned to the fact that this is the last year of duck shooting in Victoria. Like, really? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a lot of a few little comments I've seen on the internet in the last couple of weeks about that. Actually, it could be they predict it could be the last year or last couple of years of duck hunting. But if they do try and pull the pin on it, it's going to be very interesting to see what is going to happen. We all know what's pretty much going to happen with the organisations. Nothing at all will happen. It'll just be business as usual the following day for everyone. So they won't. Yeah. I guarantee they won't just off the bat go and take the government to court to try and stop it. They'll just pretty much just roll over as normal, all of them.
Yeah, Static Pessimist says it's probably one of the dozens interviewed. They chose to show stupid comments there. Yeah, if you've seen it, it's like,
cherry picking.
And listen, I really don't care about the politics stuff and who gets in, Labor or Liberal. Yeah, whatever. I don't really care, because they both suck, right? So I don't really care about that. But if I had to make, and again, I'm praying to the Lords this doesn't come true. But if I'm willing to make a prediction now that duck hunting will be banned in South Australia. It'll be banned in Victoria. You'll have the bow hunting ban that's already pretty much going to go through, isn't it, in South Australia? And you'll also have this WA gun ban that goes through. So I reckon, shooters and hunters should be absolutely ropeable right now. The four biggest things to happen in the history of the country, or at least the shooting sports, I should say, and hunting sports. And the people say, "Oh, they're working their bums off." But again, people are, I see it down in Victoria with the duck hunting stuff. They're talking about scientists and getting some dude from Canada or America to, come in and give us a review and write up a $3,000 or $4,000 report to the government. But the government doesn't care about the science. That's the whole point of the reduced season this year, because the government just doesn't care about what the science says, and that there's millions of water birds flying around, tens of millions, no doubt. They don't care about that. So we're treating it from a science point of view. The government's treating it from a political point of view. That's two different things we need to separate. So I hope that doesn't come true, man. But, I think my predictions so far of pretty much every election, all the things I've been saying on the podcast for the last 10 years, pretty much, if anyone can pick one that hasn't come true that I've said, well, feel free to hit me up in the comments. But I'm pretty sure I'm 100% from 100% at the moment on all my predictions. And I hope these ones don't come true, because I don't want them to come true. But I think if we don't make some serious headway on these antis and these government as of right now, I think we're in big trouble coming over the next, say, 6 to 12 months. Well, from now, pretty much for the next 12 to 24 months, the next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, 100%. Wouldn't be surprised if they try and pull some stunt announcement next year's season, the next season, saying, "Hey, this could be it." I reckon.
Yeah.
Thank you to Vegas, another big time supporter, and lives in the land of the free. Here, Ducks Unlimited works with hunters. I have several rifles kitted out. Duck Unlimited, no orgs. Happen Oz these days.
Helping us, yeah. So Ducks Unlimited is like a duck. Well, I guess they're a club / advocacy group sort of thing. They go out there, they do numbers, they advocate for duck hunters and all that. They do a lot of water bird management stuff. But again, those governments like New Zealand, like America, like some parts of Europe, even other countries, that have sort of duck hunting as well. They listen to the science. They listen to what the water bird numbers are. They listen to the experts. But again, Daniel Andrews doesn't listen to anyone other than these bloody CCP, Chinese Communist Party masters. So, again, we can spend money on all these reports, but again, the government doesn't care about that. I don't know why we're playing the science game. Sure, it could be supplementary to a political game, but you got to start playing these people at a political game. And, I think if these four things happen, the duck hunting in South Australia, Victoria, the bow hunting ban in South Australia, and the WA gun ban, without any legal action of any kind, man, I think shooters should be absolutely ropeable with their organisations, with the importers. I mean, you've got like CIFA, the Shooting Industry Foundation of Australia. They were supposed to be there to advocate for the dealers. So we're not. What headway are they making? Does anyone even know what they do? Do they even exist anymore? Why are they being funded? Like, what is the point of them? What is the point of their existence? Why not spend that money? And again, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to say that I am, but that's why you hire lawyers. Hey, Aaron, I've said this 100 times. I don't know how on earth in 2023 organizations that are able to afford to, or getting together as a collective financially, how do we not have a full-time on retainer pro-gun lawyer that we've got on retainer that tackles these types of issues? Like, it'd basically be a national thing. They'd be in courts over the gun ban in South Australia. They'd be advising the organizations. This WA stuff, this stuff in Victoria with the ducks. I mean, how on earth can we have 1.3 million shooters and we've literally got no legal representation?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly this is what happens in South Africa, it happens in America. The day they try and bring something out, the day they go in court, and they almost have a 100% win rate. But over here, oh no. Well, it's a classic line from this WA gun bans came out. They said, I just hope they get good money for their guns they're going to have to hand in. That's all they said. Just pathetic.
Hey guys, imagine that, right? I'm trying to avoid getting angry, but or upset about it. But imagine that, eh? Imagine that's your representation from your organizations. Oh, how much money? We're going to secure you a good deal on how much money you get. Fucking piss weak, man. Piss weak. Pathetic.
So, guys, last week I asked for anyone who belongs to one of these pathetic organizations, to phone them up and actually ask them what they are doing to fight these gun bans. Did anyone do that? Because it'd be very interesting. Tell me in the comments if you have, and what they said about, are they fighting these? What are their plans on doing this?
Hey, start from that Vegas AB $20 super chat and then go down. There's some good stuff there. Bring them up while we're talking. I'm not sure if you did. I was
thank you so much for the super chat, Vegas. Thank you very much for that.
Because Salty Skippy said Australia, the land of the ban.
Yep.
Shouldn't be allowed to be banned. Bring up some of these comments. There's some good comments here. Matt Outdoor Adventure said, I tried to tell hunters years there and I'm giving up. Well, yeah, exactly. Matt, I did the same thing. People used to say to me, you're being over the top, It's the Australian hunting podcast, not the political podcast. Well, that's fine. And towards the end, I got sick of it because I just seen there was so little action on that front. It was so disappointing to see that we basically had zero representation. That for a lot of these organizations, it's about getting you to join their club or shoot at their range. Because that's what it's all about, man. It's about, they don't have your interests at heart. Some of them do. Listen, honestly, some of them do, and unfortunately don't have the resources or the funding to be able to do anything. But someone even said to me the other day, well, if they don't have the funding, right? I mean, again, we're not talking about the mum and pops, shooting range, little pistol range, or we're not talking about, you guys know, we're not talking about those people that just provide clubs and just your local club to go and shoot. We're not talking about those ones. We're talking about ones that are in the political sphere and are advocating, are advocating for us.
They never walk the walk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know, man. It's so frustrating. All the stuff that I hear, and people just keep asking, well, what's happening? What's going to happen at political level? What's happening at legal level? Well, we don't know because, we just don't hear anything. Nothing happens.
And you see on Facebook and everything, and Instagram and other formats of that several organisations boasting that they have lawyers, boasting about lawyers, but they never bring them out. It's like they just keep them in the cupboard. Oh, where are these lawyers fighting these gunmen? Where are they? What are they doing?
It's like Pulp Fiction, man. Bring out the gimp.
Yeah. The lawyers are staying in the box. It's like don't talk yourself up, guys. If you're not going to go through and do it, don't say how great you are, and you got to fight for us, and there's totally no action.
Yeah, getting back to my point, I went blank there for a minute, but that's what someone said to me. They said, well, the ones that are in the political sphere, right? How can I explain this the best way? They said to me, well, if they don't have the resources, right, to commence some sort of legal effort fight, then literally what is the point to their existence? If they say don't have a range, or they don't have supplementary services. I mean, some of them don't even have genuine reasons either, which is fair enough. I mean, I guess the pros and cons are double-sided, which me and Aaron have spoken about before. If you don't have a genuine reason, then you just have to rely on people to join. And unfortunately, shooters sometimes can be a bit tight, which is fair enough. Times are tough at the moment. They don't want to join two clubs, so they'll join a club that gives them a genuine reason. So, and people said, well, what's the point of the existence of those clubs that are advocating for us when there's already other clubs that maybe might have the funds? I said, well, the only option probably is to get together, maybe at a level, a coordinated group level, and put all your funds together. But that's not going to happen. There's too many people.
They're out there hounding each other on the internet. No one's going to work with each other, and they're doing that. They look like idiots. You see it all over the internet of people who are representing organisations just continuously
or what we're seeing,
people out.
Hey, what we're seeing is a shooting. Well, what I say, okay, I won't say the any names or anything, but then we've got what's happening in WA, and then shooting organisations are excluding other shooting organisations because they want to be the big dog, or they want to be the people that. I said, well, you can't really be the big dog if the guns are going to be banned and all you're talking about is how much you're going to get for compensation. So it's just sad that they're trying to keep that little niche over there in WA for themselves, right? All the while other organisations are trying to get in and see what they might be able to help with. Like, why can't these organisations get together?
Well,
but again, like I keep saying, Aaron said it before, I've said it before, most of these organisations couldn't give a two hoots about your gun rights. They couldn't give two hoots if the guns are banned, so long as they continue to make money out of you via a genuine reason. That's all they care about, guys. Trust me, it's all they care about. And you can see it by their actions. You can see it by their actions.
Well, we talked about this today on the phone, Jason, about the how they should be conducting themselves. People like us who are just here for a bit of fun. We don't make any money out of this. We just have a bit of fun yapping online with you guys. Is different. But you see these organisations taking the piss out of other organisations, political parties, ones making memes about like the WA gun bans, making memes all of a sudden. That's unprofessional, and it's basic business. You need to achieve something, and by antagonising, I know we all hate the government and hate what they're doing, but if you're an organisation wanting to try and make a change, by antagonising the police and the government, who you want to be invited to and talk to, and other organisations saying, hey, how about bringing these guys in as well, by antagonising them and taking the piss out of them and fighting because you think it's fun to fight people on the internet, when you're representing an organisation, A, it makes your organisation look absolutely pathetic and people aren't going to stick around in it, and B, they're not going to invite you. You're not going to be taken seriously for a start, and people aren't going to invite you over to your house once you've been abusing them, are you? So they're not going to want to work with you. And all these organisations are doing it. They just need to start acting professionally like a business, stop making memes about the current gun bans, which are going to hurt a lot of people and piss basically every shooter off in Australia. Stop making memes about it, and instead make posts saying, hey, we've hired a lawyer, we're going to try and hold this up in court. Not, I'm going to hound this guy over in WA.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to make a meme about banning guns. It's pathetic.
That's what I'm saying about, again, people say, well, how much is that going to cost? But again, we have to expect, even if it's an extra $2 on a membership, or there's a group collective, and everyone pays $2 on a membership, again, it has to be, provided someone's pro-gun, they're a lawyer, we want to put them on, get something, maybe get a personal assistant that helps them out too. Obviously, what they call a legal secretary, whatever the term is like these days,
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We hire 2 people for maybe 120, 130,000 plus, maybe 400,000. I don't know what a lawyer costs per year, $500,000. I don't know, and it'll be results based. Again, we want someone that's pro shooting and is going to put their absolute heart and best effort what they can achieve legally. Listen, even if we lose every single case, man, we just pay them $500,000 a year, and we try every case. If that doesn't work, we appeal the case. If that doesn't work, then we head to the Supreme Court. If that doesn't work, then maybe we get barrister services on board or whatever, then head to the High Court. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. This is, again, like I keep saying, guys, you got to understand, these people won't rock the gravy train, because either they've been paid out, they've been given money by the government, they want to keep that fat, genuine reason money coming in. So why would they go against the government, guys? It makes sense to us, but it doesn't make sense to them, because their whole business model is based on the NFA of 1996. And you've seen it. I've seen good organizations get corrupted by, once they get a genuine reason, they see the cash rolling in, it all becomes about the cash. And listen, the allure, I'm sure, of cash rolling in can be intoxicating. I'm sure it can be. I understand that. But again, sad and disappointing.
Another thing people should be checking is check the credentials of these organizations joining. See if they are an organization or a company. I think you're going to be quite interested to see when you start digging about these people. You may find some of them aren't actually organizations. They're actually companies. And what are companies there for? They're only there for one thing, aren't they? So, yes, I'd be digging in and having a look. And look up the I'll never join another organization again, but I would be checking up on these organizations if I had to join an organization. Find out what they are, what they're registered as, and if they claim to do stuff, see their track record, and see if they claim they have someone on board that can help. See you want to see who it is and their credentials and everything before you give your hard-earned money away. But there's 2 questions here I want to answer. This is the first one from Godzilla Nightly Years. On Night Years, people can't afford to buy meat, and big government outlaws hunting. Exactly. The government do not want you to do hunting. They don't want you to harvest your own meat, your own vegetables, your own food in your backyard. They don't want you to do it because you're not going down to the 2 big supermarkets who have the monopoly here in Australia and paying your food and your taxes through the supermarket. They don't want you to go catch a deer or even owning a cow and harvesting that will last you and your family an entire year of meat. They don't want you doing that because you're not going to the supermarket and spending $20 per kg on some ground beef. They don't want you doing that. They don't want you providing for yourself. They want you to go spend money that rolls the taxes in for the politicians. Yeah, that's why they're trying to get rid of hunting. They'd love to get rid of hunting. I'd say they'd love to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Hunting,
they're even making
it difficult. Everyday hunter.
Yeah. They're even making it difficult in WA. Again, we'll just talk about chainsaws and gathering wood before. They're even making it difficult now to even people to get their own firewood, trying to phase out log fires. Certain councils are trying that sort of stuff on, man. So, burning wood. Oh, heaven forbid, what are we going to do? Gas, electricity. I mean, come on. Like, what a joke. Burning natural wood, I guess, compared to, gas and power grids from coal. I mean, what a joke, eh? Start bringing up that article because
Okay, I'll just answer this one as well. I've been thinking about this as well. From our friend Neil H. If they stop duck hunting, farmers will have to pay professional hunters to mass kill ducks. Exactly. And that's not the government's problem. They're getting rid of it and getting rid of all the headaches, the costs that it comes to with the administration, and it takes the bad press from all the greenies away from the government. And now it's the farmer's problem. It's someone else's problem. It's not the government's problem anymore. So they don't care if the farmer has to go pay, because now it's out of their hair. It's gone. It's finished. We don't have to deal with this anymore. The farmer can deal with it.
Yeah. William says, but yet Daniel Andrews has contract shooters in the Victorian High Country culling deer. Yep. Colin said the government cares about what the media and what the people in the city say. Yeah, there's a lot to said about our media. Godzillion light years away said fishing will be next. Yep, exactly. We're seeing restrictions in Western Australia. I don't know how you could live it. Mate, that guy is just a tyrant, that Mark McGowan, man. How anyone could vote for that guy is just absolutely beyond me.
Most people over there are just there for the big money for the mines, or they're just sitting there waiting to die. That's it.
And you know what? If they didn't have mining, McLeod would be a little bitch, eh? The only reason he claims a big game is because he's got mining. We hate mining, but we love mining in our state, Labor, don't you?
But we hate mining, but we love the money.
Yeah, we love the money. We hate mining, but we'll take the money because our state would be dog shit if we didn't have that mining. He's just a grub of the highest order, but anyway.
All these Labor are. All right, we'll bring up this article for today.
Yeah.
All righty.
Aaron said, get angry, Jay, start smashing shit. No, I mean, we don't want to get angry. We just want to get, but again, we're literally at this point trashing these organizations into submission, and they just don't care because, again, they'll just do what they're going to do, make money off the backs of shooters. They couldn't care about guns being banned, all the while trying to sell you some fact that they're working behind closed doors or whatever stupid slogan they got this week that they're trying to come up with.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. You have to read this out, Jason, because this new laptop makes it so small. I can't read the screen.
All righty. Give me a sec, guys. All right. So special guns. This is ABC, Friday, 21st of April, so not too long ago. Special gun licenses for WA farmers, likely as state rewrites Firearms Act, Police Minister says. Sorry, just scroll down a bit, Aaron, to where it starts.
Oh, I don't know what's happened here.
Or do you want me to bring it up?
Yeah, no. There you go. Sorry.
I can't read it from there, though. Maybe I need to bring it up.
Yeah, this is so small on this laptop now. I can't read it. Got to figure out how to
magnify it. But give me approval, and I'll bring my one up so I can read it.
Okay, how do I do that? Sorry, guys.
Present. I go share screen. Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah. Okay, should come up. Does it come up?
Yep, there you go.
All right, a special advisory board. The advisory board, guys, to consult with farmers on firearms laws will be established in Western Australia. Moves to ban high-powered weapons. Right, reform to the state's Firearms Act. Yada yada yada. The discovery led WA Police to push for ban on 56 types of firearms and 19 calibers of ammunition as part of the reform process. The move blindsided farmers and pastoralists who use firearms as part of their day-to-day work. Announcing the advisory board this week, Police Minister Clown said it would provide farmers with direct access to the legislative process. So basically, they're going to get a seat at the table and probably tell them how their guns are going to be banned, how it's good for them, and why they should agree with the government on banning said guns. He said, we recognize that farmers and primary producers are a special case. Yes, because remember, guys, not one police officer has been shot at long distance or long range with any of these types of calibers. So again, this guy is just a disingenuous dirtbag, a shame to the WA people, but this is what happens when you continually vote in. But voters deserve what they get in Western Australia. And you know what? If farmers voted Labor, well, then you get what you deserve too, and this is what you get when you vote Labor. Parler said, while the firearms legislation has been amended many times, completely new legislation has not been written in 50 years. The advisory board will be made up of representatives from WA farmers, the pastoralists, the Graziers Association, Wines of WA, vegetables, blah, blah, blah. Not that important. The group will meet monthly, etc. Where's the main part? Let me go down. Our expertise so far with the ministers, they said we're going to do consultation, summoned to us to Dumas House, told us what was going on. Mr. Hassel said, my experience of it was no consultation, whatever. It was laying down the law. Well, exactly. Of course, that again, consultation is to just tick the box, guys, just to tick the box. They don't care what you think. They've already made up their mind. They're going to do it anyway. Then it says different rules for primary producers. Prenti Down Station Manager Jack Carmody said there needed to be a differentiation between recreational and professional shooters, guys. Again, we've got idiots. Sorry, guys, I love farmers much as the next guy, But we've now got idiot farmers telling us that because you've got a license, because you've got a category D, which I held for about 10 years, I never felt I was any better than anyone else. I was exactly like everyone else. So now they're saying, well, we need to have a 2-tier shooter system now. The professional. So basically a professional, guys, is someone that just did their taxes, runs a business. I did it myself, have contract shooting. Apparently that makes you a professional these days. But anyway, that's not the point. So there needed to be a differentiation between recreational and professional shooters. Mr. Carmody, who ran, why are we not surprised, guys? Mr. Carmody, who ran for the Shooters, Fishers and Farmers Party at the 2021 state election, said professional shooters have a genuine need for particular tools like sound suppressors to effectively control pests. Well, everyone should have those particular firearms. Everybody should have suppressors because that is just the normal thing to do, like a lot of European countries, like a lot of America, New Zealand, etc. So now we've got guys that represent shooters, fishers, and farmers saying, well, no, it's recreational shooters need to be in a lower class of shooter, but we still need access. Again, me, according to this farmer, Jack Carmody. And then he goes on to say, if you're controlling large groups of feral animals and you're using a bolt action firearm that is not suppressed, you're going to spook the group. How is that any different than someone that hunts on private land or public land for that matter? It's no different. Again, this guy's advocating for a different class of shooters. And why are we not surprised again with the Shooters, Fishers and Fuds Party? Very disappointing again. Looks like the disease is not only continued from New South Wales, but it's also continued across into WA as well. Mr. Parler said he expected the new legislation would include specific licenses for primary producers. They will be dealt with a special case as people who require a firearm to make a living. That is acknowledged, he said. They are different and special. There will be a license to recognize that. Fuck, if you're not angry about this, guys, I can't help you. I can't help you.
Yeah. I'm sure one organisation will sit there with them and talk over the changes and how it will work for them and that sort of thing. So, yeah, we all know that's going to happen.
Guys, are you happy with that? Are you happy that they need it, but, we're professional, but you don't?
We don't.
What a joke, man. What a joke. I mean, hey, I had my category D for a long time, guys. I was no better than anyone else. Apparently, professional. What's a professional? Like you did a meat harvesting course, a certificate for, or I did my taxes and had my contracts. Doesn't make me a professional. Just means I wanted to do it, as a business to make a little bit of money out of it. To get to know farmers, to get to know certain people. And like I said, we're not having a go at all farmers here. We know there's some absolutely fantastic farmers. I know several of them that would definitely not agree with what this guy is saying whatsoever. But there are a contingent of farmers that, again, still vote National, still vote Labor, and they want special provisions for themselves. But again, throwing recreational shooters under the bus. But like we always say, guys, eventually the farmers will get targeted by the government. They're not going to be left out of any further attacks by the government. Make no mistake.
They're going to be invited to the party, that's for sure. You know what's worse than farmers I've found over the years? Are the scam farmers. And that the scammer farmers are the guys who have 1 to 200 acres for a little tax dodge, and they get the old Cat C, out there on their 100 acres just to blast away at clays. They never pick it up to do shooting. But, no one else can have them because I've got a farm and they have like 2 cows on it, but they got all their Cat C that sit there and blast away, but they will never stand up for anyone's gun rights, or they don't want anyone else to have a Cat C or D. But because they're good, they reckon they're better than other people because they've got more money and they buy 1 to 200 acres. They scam the government by bullshitting them about saying we got pests on the farm and that's hounding my 2 cows. They get the Cat C handed to them.
Yeah,
and I've seen them firsthand, and they'll never be vocal about the gun laws at all because they just shut their mouth and because it doesn't affect them.
Hey, you know what was funny? This one will interest you. I'm just trying to find it. Here it is. Now, this is an interesting one, guys. I want to show you this. So let me share my screen again, Aaron. Let me just go back to it because I want to show you guys this. Where is it? Yeah, this one, because you'll remember this. Right, so let me know when it comes up, Aaron, if you can. Yeah, okay, guys, I did this interview with this guy. Now, this is exactly what Aaron is talking about. I did this interview with Tom Frame. Seemed like a nice guy. Totally disagreed. He wrote a book on gun control in Australia. So
I'm mentioned us and put me down on it.
Yeah. Right. The interesting part was I was halfway through the interview. I can't remember because we did 2 parts. There's actually 2 parts to this. There's a part 1 and a part 2. So I did this interview, and then he told me, right, he had a farm. And I said, oh, okay, then. And we just got chatting. So while we're talking about that, he then mentioned on the show that he had, as Aaron was just talking about, a Category C. And he goes, oh, but I've got Category C. I'm licensed. And I said, so I remember actually pausing the interview. And we spoke about it after I continued the recording. I said, just before we go any further, I'm just confirming, you said you had Category C. And he goes, yeah. And I said, so you're here telling shooters how they should not have these types of firearms while you're sitting on your little, what would you call lifestyle acreage, telling people they shouldn't have these guns. I said, mate, you're going to get absolutely shredded about this. You're going to get absolutely. He goes, oh, why? And I said, really? You can't be serious, man.
I wouldn't have warned the little grub. I wouldn't have warned him.
Anyway, so I got back on there. I said, well, I've got to ask you this question. So I started the recording, and that's what you'll hear. I'm pretty sure it was on part 1 or part 2. You'd have to listen to it. But the point was, I said, I was flabbergasted, guys. I thought this guy sitting here, like what we just saw from that pastoral in that farmer in Western Australia, well, we need to have the benefits, but there needs to be a difference between recreational shooters. Well, recreational shooters are integral in removing pests from not only public land across the country where public land hunting is allowed, but also privately as well. I thought, and the guy goes, oh, but I'm licensed, I said, licensing doesn't mean anything. It's a piece of paper, dude. It's a piece of paper. It doesn't mean anything,
Well, recreational hunters, like you and me, the everyday hunter, we probably eradicate 10 times as many pests in Australia as a collective group than any professional organisation does or professionals put together.
I mean, yeah, exactly. You guys should be pissed. I mean, you've now got members of the political organisations telling you there needs to be a different class of shooter. We're professionals, guys. We need the guns. The recreational guys, though, they don't need it. You read it. The quotes are direct from their mouth. That's what I've been saying for years, guys. Under John Tingle, the shooters and fishers, back many years ago, did some great work getting public land hunting in New South Wales. But since then, mate, they've had a massive, massive fall from grace. And just like the identity crisis of these organisations, or like the Republican Party or the Liberal Party here in Australia, they need to get back to their roots, start toughening up, and stop kowtowing to these little sissies, the Greens, and just trying to be, we don't want to say things that are going to upset people because we want to get re-elected. How about advocating for your members, advocating for the interests of shooters in Australia? I mean, again, I see those guys no different than the Liberal Party if that's the sort of attitude they're going to have about having 2 or 3 types of tier shooters. We saw this during the pandemic, a different class of people. Discrimination is not good in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter what it is or what area of the spectrum we come from.
Yep, exactly. And I hate to say it again, if the organisations don't get off their ass and actually try and do something and stop hounding each other and try and work together, these gun laws are not going to look good for WA. I'd say there'll be a mass restriction on, we know the caliber thing's coming in. Probably be even more of a restriction on that. I reckon they'll lower it even more. And they'll probably turn in like pistols here in Queensland. You've got to get a high cal pistol license if you want like 45s or 40 cal and upwards. So I reckon my prediction is they're going to bring a whole new license system in. A, then if you want anything, say over a 300 Win Mag or above, you're going to have to actually apply for another license and prove why you need that higher caliber. And to be proving it, it'll basically be you shoot on a farm helping pest control, and you'll have to get letters up the wazoo to be able to get this, and you won't be able to take those guns to ranges, and you won't be able to plink with them. They'll be basically just like a Cat D. You can use it for hunting and pest control, and that's it.
Yeah. Damien brings up a good point. He says, I was at an iconic gun shop in Southeast Queensland today. The owner said that the biggest problem, the majority of shooters sitting on their ass and not standing up and screaming from the roofs. Yeah, listen, that's true. A lot of people are not interested in politics. I'm starting to hate it as well. And I'm probably starting to hate it even more, that the fact that, organizations just sit on their quincer and do nothing, talk a big game, saying, working behind the scenes or whatever crap and lingos all these organizations come up with. But again, shooters can only do so much. And then I saw someone the other day on a comment saying, well, what are you guys doing? Well, I don't have an organization, and I never signed up to I never signed up and started an organization with the intent to ask you to join my club because I was going to advocate for you. I've never done that. All I provided was a free podcast for people to get people interested in shooting, to get people a bit more politically active. And at the end of the day, a lot of these organizations will say, well, what are you doing? I go, you signed up your club to be a voice for shooters. There's several of them out there that they're pretty much their sole purpose is, if they don't have a range, is pretty much advocacy. That's their sole purpose of existing. That's their tenure. That's what they talk about on their Facebook pages every single day. But then when you question, what are they doing? Well, what are you doing? They say, well, A, I don't have the funds to do anything. And B, that's what you signed up to do. You've got your genuine reason. You're signing people up for memberships. You're getting politically active. That's what you're saying on your Facebook page every single day. And then when someone actually questions you, other than making Facebook posts, what is your representation entailing on a legal level? And mate, they go silent. You never hear from them again. So I don't know.
Exactly.
There's a lot of, but how can you win when you've got farmers that work for major pro-gun political parties telling us there should be a second and third tier class of shooters? What chance do you have, guys? The organisations, the staff, the pro-gun parties have lost their. They're like the Labor Liberal Party that have lost their nuts as well. That they can't make the argument on TV or radio. They start, saying like what we just read out to you. I mean, are you guys okay with that? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are.
Yeah, and guarantee you watch. WA will bring it in after a couple of years. They'll see what's working and what's not working, and it'll filter through to the other states. It's just going to be one big snowball. And as Jason Amir said, gun shooting is basically on borrowed time now. We're slowly going to be eradicated, and 20 years we'll be lucky to be able to even own a 22 in this country.
Yeah. Matt Cato says, I identify as a professional. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Hey, how you can say one thing, well, I identify as this, and you get basically a free ride. But if I say, well, no, guys, I identify as a profession. I mean, I'm not, this is obviously a joke, right, guys? Just we have to say that for the thing. But I identify as a professional police officer, even though I'm not. Obviously, it's a joke. I want to carry a gun every single day on my hip. They would say that's absurd, right? And we can't. No, hell no, we can't do that. Yet we let other sections of the community come up with this absolute waffle, and that's just accepted, But Matt, I agree. Let's identify as professionals. Then we can get, we can be part of the elite professional crew, Like, what the biggest wankies are? And when I see these guys, I know there's a lot of shooters out there. They've got their Cat D. They think exactly like me and you. They're not like that at all. They're top blokes, good people. But then you've actually got, like, I was on a page yesterday. The guy's like crowing about, I'm a professional, this, that, and the other. Like, yeah, okay.
Get your hand off it.
Hand off it. You shoot guns like 95% of the rest of us. I know some guys that, quote unquote, aren't professional, probably shot more rounds than this guy in 1 year than this guy probably shoots in 10 years.
Yep, exactly. Before we go, big thank you to our friend Brandon. He is had his gun license for too long, but he's a top bloke, and he really has gone full hog into shooting. Thank you so much for the $15 super chat. And he says, I did my safety course for my pistol license on the weekend, and now I'm waiting for my pistol membership to come through the mail so I can start my PPL application. Super excited about it. Well, good on you, Brandon. I love pistols. You're going to love pistol shooting. It's a lot of fun. So you'll really, really enjoy it. And thank you for that super chat. Keep us posted about how long this takes, because here in Queensland, pistol licenses are taking 9 months now.
Yeah. Matt Cato says, I keep asking, no one is willing to answer what organisation worth joining. Well, we'll let you know in about, we'll let you know on July 5th, about 4 days after the gun ban comes in WA. So, mate, Matt will let you know then, because at this stage, nobody.
I can tell you now, I'll never give a single red cent to any of these in any of these organisations ever again. As I said, I just belong to a privately owned pistol club that covers me for A, B, and H, and it costs me about $350 a year, $380, something like that a year, and it covers me for everything. And they aren't bullshitting everyone saying we're going to fight for you. They just provide an indoor range and your genuine reason, and that's all you can ask for. They don't make promises or anything. So I only recommend to join a private club. And speaking of that, I want to thank tonight's sponsor again. We have not haven't talked about them. It is Brown Plains Firearms, our longest sponsor and the best sponsor we ever had, and the most loyal sponsor we ever had. So we'd like to thank Gary down at Brown Plains. If you live in Brisbane, get down and see them. A great shop, great people. They're all shooters and hunters, so they're not going to bullshit you about anything. And go support Gary and support this channel. And
I've met Gary, really nice guy. I remember when I first went there. Come behind, have a look, come behind, good bloke.
Yeah. No, he's a great bloke. So thank you for being. Basically, he sponsored this channel almost from day one and stuck with us through thick and thin and never demanded or tried to take over the channel like other people do in the past. And they just really stick by us and through thick and thin. And top bloke, top shop. Please go down and see Brown Plains Firearms.
Just a quick one here. Simon Begg says all organisations are scared of the media, including political parties. That's why there's no pushback. Well, mate, while they're not pushing back, mate, they're certainly not getting my vote. That's for sure. I want an organisation out there that, I mean, again, the days of giving getting old mate Johnny the farmer into politics that doesn't know how to present in front of the TV. At this stage, we need I hate to say it, and I don't like to say it, but we need professional pro-gun advocates. People that are good on radio, they're good on TV, they know how to make the case. They're not going to be bamboozled with we don't want to be like America. I mean, I'm shocked that our political parties, that people that have been in politics, still get bamboozled by that question. Surely you know that question's coming, man. And until they start advocating the right stuff, man, they certainly won't be getting my vote. That's for sure.
Exactly. William says, I think 2025 we will have a national registry. We will lose high-powered rifles, complete pistol ban. I don't think they'll ever completely ban the pistols because they're so highly regulated. You can only have them at the pistol club where you can't take them on private property. And then a shotgun ban, and by 2030, private ownership of firearms will go.
Hey, Aaron, you got a good one. Damien, great question. Aaron, this is a good one. You can answer this one. Are the distributors of shooting products, weapons, etc., advocating for rec shooters? Aaron?
Well, I haven't seen any of them yet. Still waiting.
yeah, they are. They are, man. Yeah, they are, for sure. Yeah. Obviously, I'm joking. I love it, though. Great question.
All I can think of, they'll be advocating for what you can buy with your money from your buyback money.
Yeah. Let's just bring a couple. We're going to go in a couple of minutes. Neil H. Really, that Neil H. one. Sadly, I agree. When I was young, you used to walk around with a gun. Now you're treated like a bad person. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just bring up some quick ones, Aaron. Just bring up a bunch of comments so people can see what people are saying. Thanks for the show, guys. Until next time, Tankmeister.
Yeah, I'm only TubeSec. I'm only reason I'm with a major organisation is for my small guns.
Yeah. Pam Star makes up a good one. She goes, love what you blokes do and don't give up the fight. Exactly. See, I don't care about pissing off my own side of people because we don't get any money out of this. We just don't care anymore. I mean, we've been doing this for 10, 12, 13, 14 years. Yeah. Eventually you get to a point where you've just had enough, mate. You just had enough and you don't like to be negative. I wish me and Aaron were sitting here bringing you the best news possible. Yes, the organizations have gone into bat. We're pursuing legal action. Organizations have gotten together and putting their resources together, or they've taken on our advice and put lawyers and a legal secretary on with a lawyer, and they're going to absolutely start smashing it hard from a legal front. Mate, none of this stuff's come true. Now you know why we got, we're just over it, man. We're over it. The time for being nice and friendly is over.
And we've both seen behind the scenes. We've both seen that and the ins and outs and the truth about some of these people, and that over the years we've seen it just leaves an absolute stain in your mouth. And if we could talk about the stuff we've seen and heard, right,
We are we're what they call, we're not part of the establishment, guys, and I am so proud of that. I'm so proud I'm not a sellout to these organizations. And these importers, I'm glad I'm not a sellout, guys. I've never sold out for anything. Most of my podcasts, we used to run ads for some people, only people that I believed, I ever advertised for. Most of my show was funded by the viewers. In the small capacity they were able to provide me, which I always appreciated. And one thing that me and Aaron have always been proud to say is that we've never been part of the establishment. And I don't care if I piss these people off, mate. The time's it's over now. It's over, Yeah.
Yeah, it's too far gone, I think, in this country now. Way too far gone, unfortunately.
And like I said, I hate to say that's my prediction. Duck hunting Victoria, duck hunting South Australia, bow hunting South Australia, WA gun ban, high calibers. That is just going to be the beginning. And you imagine how pissed shooters are going to be when they finally get off their quinces and have a gut full of these organizations and start demanding action. I mean, again, we're in 2023, 1.4 million shooters thereabouts, say between 1.1 and 1.5, and a massive group of people, we don't have anyone on the books representing us. It begs belief to me, begs belief. But anyway.
Well, what I say, if they ever got rid of genuine reason, which it's not going to happen, but these organisations who give out genuine reason, if they got rid of it, do you think they'd ever fight for our rights, or they'll just be off to the wind?
Exactly. Well, again, 90%, 98% of their business model is genuine reasons. Just like mandatory shoots and all that sort of thing. Pistols, they'd never advocate for getting rid of mandatory pistol or long arm shoots. Like in New South Wales, Queensland for pistols, etc. They never would because that's, get in there and do it, guys, because we need that $40 range fee. We need that range fee money to get you in the door. And we need 4 of those per year, guys, or 8 if you're a pistol shooter. Fucking joke, man. You can understand why people have just had enough of it. People like me and Aaron just had a gut full of it. But anyway, good talking to everyone. Hopefully everyone gets out there and buys a couple of chainsaws. Talking about it.
And we will be back. Thank you for everyone. And please subscribe to the channel and share it and get more people involved. We'll build this live stream back up again like it used to be. Before they changed all the algorithms and every channel suffered, unfortunately. But go hit that thumbs up button down below, lay a comment, and have a fantastic week. And we shall see you next week or the week after, I promise. Good night, everyone, and stay safe.